Alright, today we're going to be building a two-story cabin in Revit following these drawings that I've provided you. And the way we're going to build those is we're going to follow this outline, and if I move faster you'll be able to slow down or move incrementally through steps, but I'll reference back to the drawings and some of the context clues I'll use to rebuild this file. So the first thing we're going to do as always is start with a new project and an architectural template. We're going to say OK, and we're going to look at our site. Right, our site, according to this drawing, is 50 feet this direction and 100 feet this direction. So that means we've got to create a topo site, right? We've got to incorporate the topography into this project. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our site plan, because we're going to lay out our site first. Then we're going to draw and lay out each level, and then from each level we'll start building in the individual walls, and that's where I'll start to leave off for you to continue following the measurements. So let's go to our site plan, and we'll go to massing and site. And before we start a topo surfaces aren't going to draw straight lines, so we need to create construction lines or guidelines of our 50 by 100 perimeter. So to do that, you're going to type in DL, or you can go to annotate and you can go to detail line, sort of like a sketch, and we'll sketch 100, and then we'll go down 50, and then we'll connect this to make a complete reference. Right, this represents the outside of the site. We'll go to massing and site, and we'll choose topo surface. Now notice I'm going to try and keep this toolbar near here. We're going to snap these topo points to each corner, and we'll say finish. So now what we've done, if we come back here and we delete or we filter out just our lines that we drew, we've got our site, right? And now this site, we could probably change our colors if we want to make it look brown or whatever you'd like to do, but for the sake of this I'm just going to keep moving to get the design right. So the next thing we're going to do when drawing this site is we need to address some other things, like let's get this road in there. We've got a 10-foot driveway, and we've got an 18 by 18 parking area, right? So we're going to sketch some of those things in there with a subdivide. So we're going to go split surface, and we're going to split this topo surface, and remember it's a 10-foot driveway, so we're just going to sketch some things loosely. Alright, I'm going to kind of sketch here. We've got an 18-foot area here, and first I'm going to draw it loosely, and then we'll come back and add some curves and make it look much more accurate. Now we need to make sure our subregion is a closed loop. Right, we have to split this surface accordingly. So now, if we're looking at these numbers we have, this dimension here should be 10 feet. Right, we have a 10-foot driveway. The parking area is 18 by 18, so let's come here and we're going to click, make this 18. Drag our temporary handles down here and make this 18. Right, so we should have these equal and pulled, and then what we want to do is just make these arcs. So I'm going to go to my button here that takes fillets, right? It takes two intersecting lines like what you see here and creates an arc, and we're going to tap. Change our radius, see what we can do here. So it'll change like that, and we'll pick the area we want to curve. So it'll be something like that. Right, we could even come back later and tell that to be 5 if you want, or you could just come back and make it an even 3. And that gives us our driveway, so we'll say finish there. Right, so now we've got a subregion. We can change the material by going to our properties box and we can turn that into concrete or whatever you'd like. I'll just choose cast in place. And now we've got our gray area. So the next step, we've got a basic site, is we're going to create the footprint of the building, right? It's 9 feet from either side. And we've got some measurements here. We've got 36 by 28 with all these dimensions. However, you've got to keep in mind, before we start drawing these floors, we need to know our levels. And as we discussed in class, our levels are going to be 0, 0 for the site. We have 2 stairs, right, which could be considered as 6 inches each or 7 inches. So you can make that 1 foot or you can make it 14 inches. But I'm just going to go with 1 foot. So we've got level 1, 0, or site 0, level 1, 1 foot. Level 2, the second floor, is going to be 8 feet plus the thickness of a floor. So we'll go level 2, 9 feet, and finally our roof is 22 feet 3. So let's go to our elevations, and we're going to insert some levels. Architecture, level, and I'm just going to draw a couple here. I know there's 3, so I'm just going to draw them first, and then we'll dimension them after. So this is called grade, right, which means the dirt or the site. It's negative 1 feet, right, from our level 1. I'm going to break that little guy. We've got first floor. We said the first floor, right? We made this 1 foot lower. We've got the second floor, which was 9 feet. And we've got the third floor, which is 22 feet 3 inches, right? And the third floor is actually top of roof. And we're going to make sure that that is 22 3. Right, and we made the first floor 0, 0. We could change that. We could make the first floor, like we could come back here and say this is 1, right? We could come back here and make this 0, because it's relative at the moment. There's no, you know, and then we just come back here. This goes from being 1 feet, right, to 10, because we're adding that extra. And we'll make our temporary dimension to here, 22 3. So that puts everything relative to the grade, right? We have our levels now. We can basically work off of our floors from one to the other. Okay, so we're going to go to our first floor, right? And one thing we can't see is we can't see our site. So maybe we can do an underlay, or we can take and we can draw. We'll take our site. We'll choose annotate again. We'll choose detail line, rectangle, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of outline that area that we made for our site, right? I'm basically going to take those lines and we're going to put some exterior walls on this site. So let's go to wall. These walls are going to go, these are the exterior walls. So the exterior walls here are going to go all the way up for now. And then we'll come back, we'll let the roof terminate all the walls, right? Because this thing is mainly pitched. So we're going to create walls from the bottom grade to the roof level that represent the outside of the building. Okay, so let's go ahead and choose our wall command and take a look at our site plan. It's going to be 36 by 22 by 19. I'm just going to draw something first that kind of looks like what the building looks like, right? This is just random, kind of guessing what we're looking at here, making sure I have my exterior wall types on, right? It's a basic generic wall. And then I'm going to start dimensioning things, right? If we remember, this exterior wall is 9 feet from the outside, right? If we look at this exterior wall, it's 5 feet from that side, right? If we click this wall, we know this wall is 22 feet, right, or 28 feet from the total width of the cabin, right? Your total width of your cabin is 28 feet. So we make that, right? We're going to find out where this wall is. This smaller wall is 6 feet over. So we come here, make our temporary dimension 6 feet. Our secondary wall is going to be 19 feet over. Right, so if I click this wall, this is going to be 19 feet. Right, and now that should give us the envelope. That's the basic outside of the building. These walls, all of these walls that we're going to pick, should all go from the first floor to the roof, level 4. Now, once we've provided our basic exterior walls, right, those walls should be going all the way up to the roof, right? Let's make sure we name level 4 roof, right, and we name level 2 second floor, right, and then what we have is first, second floor grade, which is the ground. And if you want to always keep the grade at the bottom, we could put like a little underscore or something like that there to help sort, right? But in any case, we're going to go and we're going to double check. So we've got our grade, first floor, second floor, roof. So let's go to our first floor and start drawing our floors. Now, on our first floor, we've got 2 separate floors we have to think about. One is the inside floor, which follows this boundary, right, the walls we've made. The second is the outside deck. It's 19 by 6. So we're first going to go floor, pick wall. Instead of a generic 12-inch floor, I'm going to do like a steel bar joist, or I'm going to do a ceramic tile maybe, or carpet finish, right? And I'm going to pick each one of these walls. And I'm going to say finish, right? So now I got my carpet or whatever it may be. Then I'll create my floor for the outside, which is wood. That's going to go from here to here, and then let's close that using a line. And we have our wood floor patio, our inside. And the next thing we're going to start doing, before we worry any more about the outside of the building, we're going to start laying out these rooms on this first floor, and then we'll talk about the second floor. But you've got to make sure your levels are right, or else these stairs are not going to make sense. All that's going to get confusing. So the great room is 35 by 12. Well, we can take that 12-foot dimension from right here, right? That's clearly not 35 feet, since this is 36. So I'm going to make a wall that goes the entire bottom floor, not the entire building, at the 12-foot mark. So we're going to go wall, interior wall, whichever one you'd like. I usually do 4 7/8. And I'm just going to place it first and dimension it after. So I'll click here, and it's right at the 12-foot mark, right? That's what we want. 12-foot clear. Now, once we've got this wall, we're going to go ahead and lay in each one of these little guys. And if we don't have a dimension, we can use a door as an example, or reduce the dimensions. So our bedroom is 10 by 14.6. This right here is already going to be the 10-foot mark, right? It's smaller. So let's make another interior wall. Right, we have one that goes here. We also have one here. And this wall should be 10 feet from the inside. So we'll go 10. Right? We have a basic outline. You can use the AL command to align faces of walls to make nice clean connections. And let's add our bathroom walls. Bathroom walls is 5'6" by 11. So this is 5'6" over, and it's 11 inside. So we'll add another wall, place it over here. Right, we'll click on this wall. We'll make that 11. And that gives us our, like if we click room, I can place a room here, call this bedroom, and a room here, call this bathroom, and we'll keep going here momentarily. So we've got a basic layout of the house, but we need to make sure all these walls that we just made are interior and they go to the second floor, right? They don't go anywhere else. So let's make sure one of our settings, I'm going to hold control, pick all these guys, and say go from first floor to second floor. Good. Now let's go ahead and take a look at that floor plan. We have an entryway, so we're going to go 4.5 or 5 feet here. Then we have 2 sets of stairs. That's another 6 or 7. But let's start from the other way. Let's do the kitchen. It's 8 by 9. So I guarantee this right here is going to be our 8-foot mark. Right. So we're going to make a wall. Click on this wall, make it 8 feet. Right, and now we've got our kitchen, and we've got some area for our stairs. We need our front door. So I'm going to create another wall over here. And this should be about 5 feet, roughly. And what that does, that gives us room for a front door. There shouldn't be a wall here, so we're going to use split element. We're going to go modify, split element. I'm going to click that guy, and then we can trim or pull these down. And then if I check my drawings, there's not really a wall there or here. There's just that one vertical wall. So I can take all that and delete it. There's a little knee wall there that's the thickness of a closet. So that's a 3 foot thick wall. So let's undo. Pull this guy down here to the 3 foot mark. Unjoin. And now we've got our basic stuff. So let's add our doors. Right, we've got an exterior door. We'll flip that door. Right, we've also got some smaller doors on the inside that are like 30 inches. These are going to be your interior smaller doors. Let's make sure I'm putting them in the right area. So that one's in the hallway, in the bathroom. So this one actually goes right there. Bifold for those two. We've got a little wall there that comes in. So I'm going to take them and draw another wall in here. And this depth should be 3. Let's try 5. There we go. We're going to split the difference. See, there's a 10-foot wall. We're splitting the difference because if we look at the drawing, we're just trying to match it as close as possible. And you could, we could go back and forth as long as it's something reasonable between those two. Now, once we've created those, we have our basic outlines, our basic rooms, our deck. We need to go ahead and create our stair. And the way we're going to make a stair is we're going to make it off to the side, and then we're going to drag it in place. So notice I'm sticking to the bottom floor right now, not even looking at the top floor just yet. So I'm going to go to stair, and you're going to take your time on this one. You want to make sure your stair is 3 foot wide. It's going from your first to second floor. There should be about 16 risers, right? And you're going to first draw off to the side. We're going to draw half the risers, 8. And then you're going to bring your mouse straight down a little bit, and we're going to draw half the risers again. Now you may get something different, just keep trying, but what we want to do is actually take these two, click on the stair, click move, MV, right, or this button here, and you're going to move that stair like that, okay? And what we did is we just made what is called a switchback stair that goes up to the second floor. And we'll say finish. And we're going to take that stair and we're going to hit move again, and we're going to move that stair right into the corner of those spaces we made. Now notice the stair is a little too big, so what we got to do is we gotta maybe edit our walls a little bit around the stair, or we need to edit our stair. And we can do that by changing the width. Maybe we make the width come in a little bit here. And we just make some adjustments, right, so it fits as best as we can get it around there. And that gets your first floor. We can take our room separators, we can make our separate rooms, which we'll go ahead and do. And then in the next video I'm going to show you how to do the second floor, and also how to cut out this wall from the stairs, because you'll see we have a couple different rooms we're going to add here. Let's put some more room separators by the stair. We're going to align that face to that wall, hitting everything, keep it clean. Place a room here, a room here, 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 and there. And then we're going to label bathroom, closet, you can always do CLO, great room, CLO. This is your mechanical room with your chiller or whatever, your hot water heater, and your kitchen. Okay, now that's your basic floor plan. We've matched everything on the first floor. We just need to take a double check and look. We haven't added any windows yet, so we'll add the windows at the very end. Those are the least significant thing right now. We want to make sure we get our walls, our stair, and our second floor built. So we'll take a quick look at a 3D view and see what we got. Okay, as you can see, right, the walls are crazy tall. We haven't thought about a roof, but nothing is wrong yet, right? In the next video I'll show you how to cut out the walls from the stair, right, so that you don't go through a wall in this scenario.